Aesthetics featuring yours truly, Mitchum. So today we are going to be working on our inversions, otherwise known as going upside down. And today we're going to be focusing on inverting into an outside leg hang. So if you are a beginner in pull and maybe you feel like you don't quite have the strength yet to pull yourself up into an outside leg hang, or maybe you're not comfortable with going upside down yet, and maybe kind of need something that kind of breaks things down a little bit easier to make you feel a little more comfortable, this is the video for you. So just to demonstrate, I will show you an inversion into an outside leg hang so you know what we're working on. So, as many of you know, going into an outside leg hang from an inversion does require a certain amount of core strength in order to get yourself up there. But outside of traditional ab workouts, a lot of beginners don't know where to start on the pole in order to get familiar with certain drills and techniques that can help them with building towards that leg hang and that inversion altogether. So today we're going to work on 3 unconventional ways of getting into a leg hang that are going to help you build that strength and work towards you getting into your strong outside leg hang. So let's get started. Alright, so our first non-traditional way of getting into an outside leg hang is going to be through a cradle. So a cradle is a common spin for beginners. So we aren't going to be on spin, we'll be on static, but using the cradle position can help you get into an invert. So I'll demonstrate just so you know. So as you can see, my body is parallel to the floor and horizontal to the pole. So using this position, since we're already in a horizontal position, we're halfway to an inversion in this position once we hook our legs, and I will walk you through the whole thing. So, giving myself enough height, I lift up into a cradle, squeezing my legs, and then I turn my hips up towards the ceiling. Make sure this leg is squeezing tight, this inside one. Extend this leg. Once you have your leg extended towards your face, you can then hook the leg and drop your body. And there you have your outside leg hang. So, being able to rotate your chest and your hips towards the ceiling while in your cradle position is crucial in order for you to be able to get that outside leg to hook. I'll show it one more time and then we'll move on. So again, lifting into our cradle, I turn my hips and chest towards the pole, squeezing my legs, letting my chest drop, extend this outside leg, and hook. All right, and now the second non-traditional way of getting into an outside leg hang through inverting is by doing a reverse grab or a shelf. Essentially, this is also a way to get into a meat hook, which if you're a beginner and you've never heard of a meat hook before, you likely will learn it in the near future. But essentially what it is we are going to be on the side of the pole. We have our inside arm hooked onto the pole. Our outside arm is going to come across and back. So essentially, if I can, I'm going to have this hand behind me at the top of my glutes if possible. This creates a bit of a shelf. That way I can work on lifting myself up without having to strain too much and rely too much on the abs, but still gives a little bit of core work to work towards the inversion. So, in this position, if I'm here, I'm gripping my inside arm towards the pole. I have my shelf here. I can lift up and invert from here and then release. And so when using the shelf method, you might need to give yourselves a little bit of a kick with your legs, just a light one, not a huge one, but it'll help you give you a little bit of a lift and an extra oomph to be able to get your hips up to be able to hook onto the pole. So I'll demonstrate one more time. So inside arm is hooked, back arm is just below our waist and on top of our glutes. We're here in our position. I lean back, squeezing my arm. I bend my knees. I tilt back. And from here, I can use my outside leg to hook and release. And there is my outside leg hang. All right, now, if those last two methods don't quite work for you and just don't work with your body, we have our third and final method for you. There's not a definite name for it, not to my knowledge, but we're going to do an inside hook from the floor. So we'll call it a standing inside hook. So what you're gonna wanna do, having your outside close to the base of the pole, we're going to use our inside to hook as high as you can. So make sure that the bottom foot is at the base of the pole. Having it too far out might make it a little bit difficult for you to get that leg up. So bring the bottom foot in. That way you can bring this leg higher. From here, I take my hands to the bottom. I'm already in that position to be able to do an invert. In fact, I'm already inverted. And then from here, I just release my foot. Make sure that you release it with control. Don't let your foot just swing out. So I lift, and there I am, in my outside leg hang. Now, you may have tried these three methods and thought, man, these don't quite challenge me the way that I want them to in order for me to ultimately get to that traditional inversion for that outside leg hang. Well, a couple of things are important. Not only the lift up into the inversion builds strength, but also the descend down from the inversion is also important. So one thing to keep in mind is that when you're out in that outside leg hang, being able to descend down slowly also can help build your core strength. I'll demonstrate a couple of variations coming down just so that you know. Great job, team. You've done 3 non-traditional ways of getting into an inverted outside leg hang. Hopefully, these will help you along your journey to building a strong outside leg hang and work towards more inverted tricks along your way. Thank you so much for viewing. I appreciate you and your support. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.